Dear Gwitch everyone, Kojima Tashiv, and welcome back to episode number 148 of the Inline G Flute podcast with me, your host, motherfucking Inline G. Man, this should have been my 150th episode special. You guys have been fucking raving at me to make this episode. My inbox has been blowing up, please, Gareth, through the episode. And I honey-dicked you all last week thinking it was coming out, but it is out today. And you know what? I'm actually nervous for this. I woke up this morning feeling the pressure. Be like, fuck, I have to record this episode tonight and the whole flute form thing. But anyway, pressure is for tires. So let's get straight into it. Straight in, no kissing. We're going to talk about this. You've seen the title of this episode, or you've spoke to me, or you've spoke to someone else, and you've got on this hype train. The amount of messages I've had saying, I can't wait for this episode. It's here now. If you have a life, you might not be aware of what's going on. And lucky you. There has been a controversy lately in the online flute space. And today I'm going to go through that controversy, briefly explain what happened. I'm going to present findings from a couple of weeks of research and people I've spoken to. I'm going to present all that publicly. And then I'm going to talk about the responses from anyone involved in it. And then maybe share a couple of opinions at the end. So this is all going to be about a Facebook group called Flute Forum. Now I can hear a fucking few of you shudder there. I can hear eyeballs rolling into skulls as soon as I Flute Forum. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's fucking Flute. We're going to talk about it quickly. Flute Forum is a Facebook group. It is the largest online community for flute players in the world, bar none. I have done episodes on Flute Forum before. It is like the Wild West in there. It is great. I love it. Personally, it provides me with endless hours of entertainment. It has, as of this morning, it has 96.8 thousand people as members. And it is blocked 50,000 people from... Wait, let me have a joke, for fuck's sake. Okay, so quick background on Flute Forum. It was founded quite a few years ago by two lads. One's called Luke Pinella, who is a flute technician, and Antonio Herbert. They found it at the time when people actually give a fuck about Facebook and used it. And essentially at that time, it was a way for Luke to promote his technician business. Great. No problems at all with that. Now, I don't know Luke or Antonio. Never met them, okay? So I've had some very, very basic online interactions with them. I'm very familiar with Luke. I think a lot of us are. He's a very... vocal figure within the flute community. We all know who he is, okay? Antonio, I don't know that much about. From what I understand, he's not working in the flute industry, and he's involved in real estate, I want to say. Really don't know much about him. Anyway, the two of them start this Facebook group. They strike fucking gold. Happy days. That is the first time that someone has made an online forum for flute players. And it just fucking blows up. Right place at the right time. There was no other one. It grew, and now it is monstrous. Now, we fast forward to a couple of months ago. Recently, a lot of people have been posting comments in other Facebook groups or online spaces in general saying, hey, is Flute Forum gone? I can't see it anymore. Did it get taken down? Has Donald Trump blown it up? No, it hasn't. So because of that, there's another group called Etude of the Week where people were talking about this exact thing. Someone said, hey, I haven't got access to Flute Forum. Then a couple of people said, I haven't got access either. I mentioned this. I brought up this allegation. I said this. I said that. I've been blocked. Okay, then one thing spirals into another. People are commenting on that, trying to defend Luke and Antonio, what goes on, blah, 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 blah. You're caught up to speed now, okay? And thus we have this episode. So there's been a lot of allegations made against Luke and Antonio. I have researched them all, made a list of them all, confirmed them all with multiple sources. We're going to get them all today. I'm going to present them all here very plainly. I will say this is not a witch hunt. I know you guys, especially regular Inline G listeners, you lovely people. You love the fact that I swear. You love the fact that I go on rants. And you're expecting that from this episode. You're expecting a fuck you, 2 fingers up to them. It's not quite going to be like that, okay? I did get a little bit pissed off with the video, but that's my own personal opinion. This is going to be, the serious meat of this podcast is going to be a genuine attempt at serious journalism. And there's going to have an attempt to have some form of integrity. So, but at the same time, I won't be leaving any information out. I'm not afraid of being sued, okay? Because I live in the first world, okay? I don't live in the USA. I live in the developed world. So I'm fine. You're not going to sue me over here. The New York Philharmonic tried to sue me. They didn't fucking get me. Half the music colleges in Europe are trying to sue me, or apparently thinking of suing me. They haven't gotten near me either. I think I'll be grand. So a very important thing to remember as well, because if you're not American, you've probably listened to the first few minutes of this podcast going, what in the name of fuck is going on? Well, dear listener, dear non-American listener, please come with me in this ride, because it is important to remember for this entire episode, every single person, every character you meet in the following tale is American. And as we all know, without exception, every single American on the planet is fucking stupid. I'm joking. Don't turn it off. Don't put it back. I can see you. I can see you putting your thumb there, hitting pause, going, "Who's this guy think he is?" Just listen to me, okay? And I'm sorry for the swearing. I know it hurts your delicate American ears, but I'm from Belfast, lads. We know how to swear. It's grand. Let it be a guilty pleasure. Americans are fun to watch, though, guys. So if you're not involved in this scandal, get a bag of popcorn. Pull up the seats. That's what I do sometimes. You wouldn't believe. Americans are like, it's like going to see, it's like going to the zoo and going to the monkey enclosure and going, that's class, but the monkeys have the nuclear codes on the inside. They could blow you up at any time, but they're funny. Put their fingers in their bums and all. So, okay, let's get a little bit serious. I'm going to present the allegations that have been made against them, okay? But before I do that, I want to have a quick note on how I got these allegations, how I researched them, and what I did for this process, to be very, very clear about it. When I reached out to anybody or anybody reached out to me, nobody would speak on the record. So basically what I did is, after this whole controversy opened up, I put the word out to various different people saying, if anyone wants to make any kind of comment on this specifically, either for or against what's going on, or anything from the past in regards to this could be related, please come to me. Send me a message, I'll listen to you, and I will potentially include it in a podcast episode. Everyone who came in went, I want to be anonymous. Now that leads to a problem, because I cannot turn around on the internet and say, well, someone told me this, but I can't tell you who. And I can't give you any proof. And I can't mention any details that might give away their identity. There's no integrity to that. So I went for the weighted option. Every single allegation that has been made, I have made an effort. No, I haven't made an effort. I've done it. I've confirmed and corroborated that allegation with at least 5 independent sources of each other. So that means every single person I reached out to, they would give me an allegation. I would wait until 4 other people, minimum, have confirmed the same allegation. Now, they have to do it without me prompting them or asking them or bending the conversation anyway. You can see, I can't show you the conversations with people, but if people ever become comfortable enough to give up their anonymity, I would be happy to disclose every message I've sent around this. I've been unusually professional for my level throughout this entire thing. I've never once tried to direct the conversation. I've never went, oh, someone said this, have you had the same experience? No, I've just sat back and took it all in. Leave it at that. Now, once I got 5 sources for a allegation, that was it. We've passed the threshold. It's going in the podcast episode. And it made a list. Now, most people I've talked to, I don't even fucking know them, okay? Every single person has provided some degree of, or most people, certainly the 5 people to get over the threshold have provided some degree of evidence to back up their allegations. So that might be emails, it might be screenshots, it might be voice recordings in some cases. There's always something. Now, some allegations were made, but never fully corroborated. I couldn't quite get enough over the 5 threshold. So they've either been left out entirely of this episode until they're more well-researched, or there is one that I'm going to mention later that's a little bit scandalous. I'm going to put it in because I think it should be in here, but I will be putting a huge asterisk beside it saying, take this with a pinch of salt. So we'll start with the blocking, okay? A lot of people have been suddenly unable to find Flute Forum online. There were previous members of it, and it's as if the group just disappeared into thin fucking air. Now, firstly, if you're one of those people, go and find your boyfriend's phone or your girlfriend's phone or your mummy's phone or your daddy's phone or whoever you're riding. Go and get their phone, type in Flute Forum and see if it comes up. If it does, you've been blocked, okay? Or get someone to send you the link for Flute Forum. Go and put it in your incognito browser where you're not logged in on Facebook. If it pops up, you've been blocked. Sorry to tell you that. This also goes, by the way, for your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend. They haven't deleted their Facebook page. I'm sorry to tell you. They've blocked you. That's how it works. So people have also been saying, oh no, apparently there's technical difficulties and the people at Flute Forum are working on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? Are you really believing that? Are you sitting here telling me, as a fully grown autonomous adult, you're going to tell me that you think they're down there with a fucking soldering iron and the screwdriver fixing Facebook? Man, Facebook doesn't glitch. Okay, let's make this very clear. Facebook does not glitch. That doesn't happen, okay? Facebook, when it glitched once in 2021, it was world news. 2024, there was an outage with all the meta services. People were in meltdown over this. Facebook doesn't glitch, and when it does, it is news. It's worldwide news. And to believe that this is a technical error is honestly fucking stupid. I was going to say another word there, but I had to be stupid. That's what it fucking is. Can you say that word? I feel like we're allowed to say that word again, but I'll be careful saying it. No, I won't say it. Right, fuck. Save that for the pub later. So, if a Facebook group has a problem, it will affect everybody in the group. That's all there is to it. It's not going to affect just some people, okay? If other people can see it and you can't, you've been blocked. You can also track, which I have done, you can track when Facebook experienced technical glitches around the world based on the date and the time. So anyone that got blocked, I said what time, or I looked up what time or what day did it happen. I went on, checked if there was any known glitches or technical errors within the Facebook network. Obviously there wasn't. It was a waste of my fucking time even going on that. I knew there wasn't, but apparently you have to look these things up to have integrity, whatever the fuck. So there's no way you can tell me that there's one glitch on all of Facebook and it only affects like a handful of people trying to get access to Flute Forum. Fuck up, right? Don't even give me that. Come on. You think I came up the lagging in a bubble, lads? Seriously. You believe anything if you believe that. Also, every single person I contacted about losing access to the group, they had said it just so conveniently happened that after they said a certain thing on their page, criticizing a certain thing, or making an allegation, or trying to post something in the Flute Forum that didn't agree, or that the guys running it didn't agree with, then suddenly they lost their access. I'm like, oh, fucking convenient, isn't it? Facebook glitches when those exact moments. So, we're going to talk about the moderation of Flute Forum. Because for those unfamiliar, a Facebook group, there are moderators on it. People who run the group, essentially, you can have as many as you want. It is displayed publicly, or not publicly, it is displayed to the members of the group, okay? So, we should make this very clear. There has been all kinds of claims that there is a team of moderators involved at Flute Forum. There's varying degrees of truth to that. But at this moment in time, and for the last couple of weeks, potentially months, you can go onto the moderator page. There are 3 moderators on Flute Forum. That is Luke Pinella, Antonio Herbert, the 2 founding lads, and a third Facebook page. It is called Flute Forum page. Be careful. If you're looking for Flute Forum, you find the page. That is not the group. It is something entirely separate. The only reason I can think why a page is being made a moderator is it is a way to have someone else moderate whilst concealing their identity. Because you can just say, hey, here's the password to the Facebook page. Now go do the moderating via that so your name won't come up. So it is a very good way to not disclose your name's or identity. But you have to ask yourself, why? Why are you doing that? If there is a so-called team of moderators over there, and you're shocked at the allegations that people are getting blocked, and you're blocking people deliberately, reveal their identities and just say, you can ask everyone, go, hey, did you block this person? No. Did you? No? Okay. Find out. But no, this secrecy is very bizarre, very, very bizarre behavior. It's a lot of effort to go to hide someone's identity. Now, I have asked around a lot, and at this moment in time, I cannot find any evidence whatsoever that there is another moderator beyond Luke and Antonio. There might well be, but to find that information out is very hard, and it's currently beyond my resources. Over the years, there have been many moderators, and at various times in different forms and different sizes of groups. At some stages, there was between 4 and 8 people at once moderating this group, and they were good moderators. Like when I researched who they were and I looked up a little bit about them, they came from different backgrounds, they had different political opinions, they had different affiliations, different experiences within the flute industry. It's a great mix of people to have moderating your group. It will really keep things well. But unfortunately, in the last 6 months to a year, all those people have either been removed as moderators or stepped aside voluntarily. This also coincides with this stricter moderation within the group where people are finding themselves blocked. So why are they blocking you? Now, I haven't updated my script here, so I'm going to have to do this on the fly, but I contacted Luke and Antonio earlier this week. After I'd done all my research, I put this all together in a list of allegations that I'd heard from other people, and I sent them both an identical message, which I had typed out. I'm happy to show you all the message. Basically saying, this is what I'm doing. I'm making a podcast episode on it. These are the allegations about you. Would you like to come on and comment on it in any way? Okay? I will listen to whatever you have to say. If you want to talk to me off the record, not include certain details, maybe you want to say something that's going to make me realize something, but you don't want to say it publicly. That's grand. I'm also open to that. Or if you tell me you want it in the podcast or you want to make a comment on it, it will go out. I fucking promise it will. Scout's honor. Now, I sent that. Antonio and I have communicated previously on Facebook, so that means the message will not have went to request. It went to his inbox. I didn't hear anything from them both for a few days. Luke, I've never talked to on Facebook before, so it probably did go to his request. I imagine he has a lot. There is a genuine reason why he didn't see it. So I asked someone else to say, hey, give them a nudge and let them know what's in there. Then, about 2 hours later, I'm in a rehearsal. Time difference as well. As I said, I'm in the developed world in Europe. You guys are in America, so I'm much later over here. I was in a rehearsal and I had a missed call from Luke on Facebook. I couldn't answer it. I was in a rehearsal. I said to him, listen, man, I'm sorry. I'm in a rehearsal. Leave me a voice message if you have to, or do whatever. I'll get back to you, I promise. When I got out of that rehearsal 30 minutes later, fucking 200 people have tagged me and sent me a video going, look, Luke's made a video about this and posted it on Flute Forum. I was like, right, okay, I'll give this a watch. Now, the video, I will say, by the way, I know what that tactic is. I'm not fucking stupid, okay? I'm going to make a couple of like quick opinionated judgments on this. These are purely my own opinion, by the way. That fucking classic thing that right-wingers love to use in America as a form of discredibility or what's the verb of discredibility? To discredit someone. Is he goes, there's a guy, Gareth Houston, Gareth, is it? Man, fuck off. And then he's like, he wants me to come on a podcast or a webcast you know it's a podcast because I said the word podcast. And also, what the fuck's a webcast? It's 2026. It's a podcast. We all listen to podcasts. What are you talking about? And that whole thing of like, it's not like I'm sitting here going, I'm world famous. I'm fucking not. But you know who I am. I'm sorry, but you do. And you've probably been warned about this. Anyway, it was a thin attempt at discredibility. Very fucking thin. And there's a couple of comments as well about like, I'm like the comment, I'm not going on his podcast to comment on it because it's going to boost his numbers. I was like, fuck me, don't make me laugh, all right? First of all, I don't give a fuck if 2 people watch this podcast. I make this for me. I do not give the slightest shit, okay? I'm not chasing the almighty dollar like people in America are. I do this for fun, believe it or not. Also, look at the people I've had on this podcast. Not to fucking blow it up, but the guests I've had on this podcast, I'm doing fine for numbers. Okay, if you're new to the Inline G podcast, by the way, go and check out some of the guests I've had. I've had Julien Bonimo, I've had Sophia Neugebauer, Hélène Bouleg, Magali Mounier, Greg Patillo, Nicole Esposito. Fuck, I'm forgetting all the big names now. Jesus, there's probably more. And Daniela Mars, Rachel Ompredan. Who the fuck else has been on this podcast? Anyway, everyone's been on this. Lara St. John was on the other week. Okay, Sammy Sussman, the famous journalist who cracked the case about the New York Philharmonic sexual assault scandal. They've all been on this podcast, okay? Don't flatter yourself, mate. But anyway, that's the opinion part of it over, okay? Sorry, I have to get a bit of emotion out here. This is a stressful time for all of us involved. He did respond to the allegations in part. Now, I'm going to read the list. I'm going to read you the message that I sent to him of the allegations. So you're going to have them in full. He had this list. He's only responded to a couple of them and not them all. That is his choice, okay? So either he just hasn't had the time to respond to it, he didn't want to respond to it, I don't know. But he's had the chance. After he made that video, I left him a voice message telling him, you're more than welcome to come on whenever the fuck you want and explain yourself. I will listen to you, okay? Genuine attempt at journalistic integrity here. So I sent him a big message, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to read out the entire message, it's fucking massive, but I said, let me know what you think. Here's a list of the things I've gathered so far. So number 1, I said, the group offers a paid service for members. There's been concerns raised about the transparency of this. Where does the money go? And is it documented how it's spent to improve the group as claimed? Next point, a Facebook page is listed as the 3rd moderator. How many moderators are there? And why are they being kept anonymous? This is especially concerning for those who've been blocked without warning. The next one, there have been concerns raised about the quality of Luke's repair work, specifically that he's claiming to be a certified Muramatsu technician and that many customers have had to have other techs correct his work at great expense to themselves as well. There was also a great concern about the customer service that he provides. Then there's also one, businesses can pay to have posts speaking negatively about them on Flute Forum removed. Flute Forum has been removing posts and blocking people for questioning any of the above without warning. And lastly, legal threats have been made to anyone considering leaving comments or posting reviews. Now, we're all caught up on it there. So we're going to go through some of these allegations. Now, the very first one is the Muramatsu thing. So we will talk about that quickly. Muramatsu, for those unfamiliar, very quickly, very famous brand of flutes from Japan, very popular in the United States of America, very expensive flutes, fucking great. They're like the Rolls Royce of the flute world. If you want to get your Muramatsu flute repaired or looked after or cleaned or adjusted or whatever, there is a list on Muramatsu's website of certified technicians. These are the people that Muramatsu deem qualified and experienced enough to handle their instruments. They highly recommend you go to these people, that you do not go elsewhere. And they provide a map and a list. Luke Piniella is not on that list. Now, Luke does say openly in his video, I am not a certified Muramatsu technician. He then goes on to, defend his own tech work and who he's worked with and blah, blah, blah. Now, in my own opinion, would I send my Sankyo to somebody who's not Sankyo certified? 100%. If I knew they were good, I wouldn't give a fuck. If I owned a Muramatsu and someone wasn't certified, I would still send it to them. I wouldn't care. If I knew they were good, I don't care. You don't need to have the certification, in my opinion. So I defend him on that one. I don't think there's a problem at all with that. But the concern being raised is that he has deliberately misled people into thinking he is a certified tech or did not disclose that he was not. Okay? he's covered that. I'm happy with his explanation. I think it was great. And honestly, on that one, you know what? That's the way it is. I don't think it's a big idea. Big deal. Now, the next thing is the concerns about Luke's work in general as a technician. We are going to have to get into this. Now, again, I've had this all confirmed from multiple sources, blah, blah, blah. I can't go too in depth about the specific cases because obviously that will give away the identity of the person. But all these have been the running themes. Nothing specific, but these are the running themes. So the first thing is the padding. For those unfamiliar, pads are the things between the keys and the body of the flute. They're underneath the keys here, just to make sure that when you close the key, the air doesn't escape in any way. Because if a little bit of air gets out, your sound's going to be shit. It's going to go out of tune. It's going to be shit, okay? So it's a very important part of a flute. And they have to be replaced quite regularly. They're not made of metal. They're normally made of felt and other things, okay? So padding is a big thing. And there's different brands of pads and how people put them in. It's a huge skill. Now, one of the complaints that's been made is that the padding is terrible. And that when people get their flutes padded entirely within 6 months, they've had pads completely fall out, which is not normal. If I get an overhaul of my flute and I'm paying the kind of money that people are paying in the States, you have too much fucking money over there. If I'm paying that kind of money, I don't want anything falling out of it, right? I want that thing to stay in one fucking piece for at least a couple of years, right? So that's not normal, I will say, for those unfamiliar. So there's been complaints that the padding has not been good, up to scratch. There's been complaints that there's been poor quality pads been used when better ones have been promised. I think that's a bigger issue. Or the people are surprised that a certain brand of pad has been used when they were promised something else. Now, the concern there is that they were promised a better pad, a higher profile client came along, and they got priority access to the higher quality pads, and these guys went, well, give them the other ones because so-and-so's here. I need to do a good job on their flute, so put the cheap ones in the other one. That's the allegation being made, okay? Or that's what's being inferred from the quality of the pad that's been done on the flutes. Now, this has happened a lot. There's also been reports of the wrong pads being used, whatever that means. Not sure how I feel about that one either. But more importantly, there has been cases of synthetic materials being used in the flute. So instead of felt, they're using synthetic material, which we don't all know, but flute players will know. Synthetic material, it's very cheap, okay? But it degrades really quickly and it fucks off after sometimes a couple of months and it's fucked, okay? So we don't use synthetic material. Now, there's also been huge complaints about the shimming on the pads. Essentially, a shim, it's behind the pad and it's like a little disc, like a wee donut, and it's a sort of plug the difference between the pad and the tone hole, essentially, okay? It's to make sure it closes properly. So the wee disc, and you put them in behind, and they fill the gaps, essentially. Now, they're usually made of paper or plastic. Bit of a debate, which one's better? Who gives a fuck? But it is one of the technician's big jobs is to get the shimming right. As well as the pads, the shimming is really important, because if you get it wrong, it is a fucking nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. So using the correct shims, the best quality ones, and making sure they're installed correctly is a big, big, big job. And it is an art, really, not a science. Now, there have been many cases of his flutes coming back from him with the shims incorrectly installed. So badly so that people have had to get their flutes overhauled entirely. Now, the next thing is the moment that I said, oh, I haven't confirmed this, okay? I have confirmed this, but I haven't confirmed it with 5 independent sources to get over that threshold. So what I'm about to say, please take this one with a pinch of salt. It is not confirmed enough for my taste, okay? You can make your own minds up on it. There has been examples of people getting their flutes back and find out the shims, instead of being standard paper or plastic ones, have been made out of newspaper instead. So newspaper's been cut up and put in. Or there has been also cases, or claims of cases, that Cheeto wrappers have been used. Now, we're all familiar with Cheetos. They are a delicious delight from the United States of America. They are loaded with chemicals, and I would fight you for a bag of them. They're fucking class. Would I be sticking them in my flute? No. Wow. Depends who's asking. But no, I wouldn't be putting Cheetos. Now, there's not enough cooperation on that where I feel comfortable saying that it happened, okay? A couple of sources, not enough, okay? So, make of that what you will. Me personally, I think the Cheetos one is a bit far-fetched. There you are. But one thing that is sure that's happened is people have got their flutes back from Luke and had to send it on to another technician or a large, reputable flute shop to have further work done on them. In many cases, they've had another overhaul, which means that when Luke's charging, I don't know, like in America, I don't know the exact price, okay? So don't quote me on this, but we're talking in the ballpark of like $1,500 to $2,000 to get an overhaul on the flute. That's a lot of money to give up. And then people are going to another technician a month later, 2 months later, 6 months later, and having to have it done again at bigger expense because the bigger shops will charge more money. So then overall, you're paying fucking $5,000 to have your flute looked after, which is an obscene amount of money. And that's happened quite a lot. People have used the word ruined quite a lot. And I've seen emails from major Flute companies or major Flute techs where they've sent pictures of the Flute saying, listen, it's going to cost this much to fix because whoever did the repair work before has made a bollocks of it. They've done this, they've done that. We're going to have to replace this. I'm sorry, it's going to cost this much money. And they are able to say that it is Luke's work without anyone ever saying, because apparently they've had enough cases of it. Now, that is a set of emails that I've seen from a couple of different places, okay? So I feel confident enough to say that because I know the emails, the screenshots are being sent and being forwarded are real. And the people running these Flute shops and brands and things like that and these technicians, they're very reputable. So I generally trust them. But again, make your own mind up on that. Now, again, everyone in this podcast has went on and said, or everyone doing research for this podcast or contributing to the research for this podcast has insisted in being anonymous. Really insisted. People are shitting themselves. A lot of people are like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not sending you a single message. And then I'm like, I promise it stays between us. There'll not be any details that'll be like, I've been really trying to do my best now. But it's weird that they're so panicked about it. And a lot of people have told me they have been threatened legally. They've been told, if you post a bad review about this, if you make a comment about it, if you put a status up about it, if you message people, if I find out you've done that in print, you will have to get a lawyer. I am coming after you. That has been reported multiple times, okay? Fucking dare someone to get some yank lawyer after me, as if I give a fuck. But this is one of the things. These comments obviously do not get through to the Facebook Flute forum. Now, the other thing is this group payment. We're going to talk quickly about this. There are 2 membership options at the Flute forum group. You can pay, I think it's $12 a month or $99 a year to get group membership. There is an about section on the Flute forum thing that was changed, by the way, yesterday after I contacted Luke and Antonio. It's been updated and changed, which is very annoying. But obviously I took the screenshots a couple of weeks ago to make sure that I had them because I expected this would happen. Now, there's nothing weird about that, by the way. Charging people for advertising in a group on Facebook is very common practice. It sort of skirts on the legality of, not legality, but the rules about Facebook's terms and conditions, but really, who gives a fuck? It's totally normal to say, I've got a group of 100,000 people in your niche. If you want to advertise in here, pay me money. And then declare it openly as an advert. That's, in my opinion, that's actually ethical business practice. So that's grand. But the thing is, this membership, we do not know what it's for. It's not written down anywhere what you get with the membership. Is it for advertising or is it for non-advertising, etc., etc.? We know nothing about it. Now, what I do know is that, well, first of all, what I do know is that people have been told, and has been implied many times throughout the group in different comments by Luke and Antonio, that the money generated from this will be put back into the group. It'll cover operation costs, which with a Facebook group of that size is very reasonable. It takes a lot of time to moderate it. People want to get paid for their time. I totally understand that. And I actually think that's, again, a very ethical thing to do. And I think people are happy to pay to contribute to that. Much like you guys pay for the Patreon to this, okay? But the problem is, people are raising concerns about where that money is going and how it's being used. The first concern about where it's going is, up until a few weeks ago, I can't confirm, if you signed up for that membership, the money was sent to Luke's personal Venmo account. I got that wrong because I don't know what the fuck Venmo is. You fucking Americans, I had to Google this to work out what it was. Anyway, it's being sent to his personal account. It makes people a little bit suspicious. Again, it could be fine. It could be putting the money in, declaring tax on it, and putting it back into the group. That could be totally grand. But up to this point, with all the research I have done, I cannot work out how many members there are, how many people have ever paid for membership, and where that money has went at any point. There's no proof or no evidence that it's been used anywhere. The trail of that money is gone. It could be fucking $12. It could be, there's 100,000 people. You know, if 10% of those people sign up to it, that's 1,000 people paying $12 a month. That's an enormous income. If 1% of those people sign up, that's still $120 a month, I think. That's not great. Never one of my strong points. But we don't know where it's going. And that's where a lot of concerns are being raised. And people have told me they have put posts about that into the group and they've been blocked for that reason. Now, the defense is, we don't block people for those reasons. This is ridiculous. How can you accuse that without any proof? Thank God you're in this podcast where there is proof. I have rock solid proof because Facebook changes the way it works so often, and especially how it works with groups. There was a period of time where you could see moderators' activity in the group. So it would say so-and-so has blocked so-and-so, or so-and-so has rejected so-and-so's comment. Usually the way it works is they'll say they have rejected this message to be in the group, and then a separate message saying they have blocked this person, and usually it says they've blocked them and all future accounts or all separate or side accounts as well. Now, I know for a fact that on at least a couple of occasions, Antonio has blocked people because they've brought up this exact topic about funds and the membership thing and where it's going, looking for clarity, and he has blocked them. That has happened. I have seen screenshots of that, okay? Because again, there was a wee time in Facebook where you could take screenshots of these things. God bless Facebook and not having any idea what the fuck it's doing sometimes. But these things have came up, so I know this has happened. I know for 100% fact on at least a couple of occasions. Does that mean it's common practice? No. But it does mean it's happened. And I think a lot of people are looking for transparency in this. What is going on and why is it going on the way it is? I'm not going to comment on it, but again, it came from multiple sources. Now, we are going to move on. Lucas made a video about these things. He's talked about it. I don't like the way he did some things and talked about it, but it's no skin off my nose. I can separate my own personal opinions of these things. I'm a dickhead as well, okay? I'm deliberately inflammatory sometimes towards people. I like winding people up. I get wound up very easy myself. I have very short fuse, as you all know, okay? So don't pay no fucking heed to me either. But I want to make this very clear. Also, apparently Antonio made a video, but I haven't been able to find it and it's been removed. I'm sorry. I never got tagged in it. I never be able to find it. Whatever was said in it. I can't even find anyone who will tell me what went on in it because they can't remember. So, Antonio, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I didn't get around to that. It's been deleted and I can't find it. This is not a witch hunt. I am not out here to do this. People are really upset about that. Really upset. Like, some people have told me stories where they've spent $6,000-$7,000 and they can't afford that kind of money, and flute playing is their hobby, and they have important like all instruments are important. When you have a level of instrument to this, like this money on instruments, people save up for years to get these instruments, and it's a huge point in your life, and you say, I bought that fucking class flute, and you don't want to have to spend $7,000 or $5,000 to correct work to get it done. It's really important to people. It's a source of happiness and a source of joy. I've made 147 episodes of this podcast on that fucking theme, essentially, saying how class it is to play the flute. So I understand people are very, very upset, and they came out to me, and I want to be able to give them a platform. So I will say the other side of things. Some people have came in and defended Luke and Antonio very strongly. They defended their character, they defended their professionalism and their honesty, and that's very good. More than a few people actually, and a lot of people who even talk shit about them, give negative things to say. They will say at the end, by the way, I don't think they're being malicious. I just think they're in over their heads, and I get that. I don't know either of them. I know Flute Forum is a great community in many ways. I disagree with how it's currently run. One person also admitted, sorry, I know this episode's taking a long time. This really fucking pissed me off, by the way. Really got my goat this. One person admitted in a comment on it going, I have ran a business. Someone has said something negative about my business at Flute Forum, and I have asked the people at Flute Forum to remove it. And then it's this whole defense. It's a very American thing of like, but business is business. You have to respect the hustle. You have to respect people doing it. I'm like, no, that's terrible business practice. That's fucking pathetic. And this is exactly the reason why Donald Trump got elected in America. It's not just to appeal to fucking racists and evangelicalists and fucking Christian extremists and all that shit and religious nutjobs. It's not just that. He relies on these business first people. These people who put the almighty dollar above everything else in the USA. This is why he got fucking elected. Because they put business before fairness or before honesty or before any sense of morality. If you could not handle that your business is getting negative reviews, fix your fucking business. Stop being a fanny about it. Go and sort it out. Don't go crying to the group. And you're basically asking for censorship. Obviously, people are going to think you're a dickhead for it. It's a dickhead thing to do. Fix your business. This group is big enough now that it belongs to the community. It's like fucking ancient Rome or the French Revolution or the Tsar getting removed in Russia. If you rule with an iron fist for long enough, eventually people will take control of what you created because it belongs more to them. Flute Forum is bigger than these two lads now, and it's way bigger, and it belongs to the flute community. Also, I cannot believe I just compared Flute Forum to ancient fucking Rome. Are you kidding me? So the group has to serve the people. In my opinion, this could all be fixed very easily. And any damage done, I don't think there's any harm in a lot of it. I think it's very redeemable. How to fix it? You need a bigger moderation team. A much bigger one. And more transparency on how it is managed is vital. I do believe this is just two lads who started a Facebook group one day and it just got out of control. And they haven't got a fucking clue what they're doing now. And they're grabbing at things and hoping it works out. And they're going mad. And the walls are closing in around them on this. And they're fucked. It's redeemable. And if the two of them are open to that, a total reform of how the group is run would be a hell of a statement from them. It would say so much about their character and it'd be a testament to their values and their morality. So, There's my advice. I think I'm done here, lads. You know what? I'm leaving this open. This all happened very, very quick, and I want everyone to be able to respond. So there will be a follow-up episode to this when people get back to me. Get back quick, all right? Don't fucking wait about it. I got stuff to be doing here, all right? So if you want to say anything about today, if you want to agree with anything, if you want to disagree with anything, if you want to offer any kind of story, fucking anecdote, character defense, anything you think is relevant, come and do it to me. Tell me how much you want to be anonymous. Tell me how much you don't want to be anonymous. I will listen to you. And if you want it in this podcast, it will go in this podcast. I'm not taking any sides here. I haven't got a dog in this race. And look at Antonio, if you're watching, I would love for you guys to comment further in this and come and defend yourselves, because people are quick to jump against you. I would like you to come and defend yourselves and do a bit of work against them. So I say, you know what, don't contact me tonight. This goes for everybody. If you're listening to this on the Friday it came out, this has been very stressful to do. I've had a busy few weeks. I'm going to go, when this comes out, about 12 hours after that, I'm going to be in the pub drinking 7 pints of Guinness. You're not going to hear from me for tonight, okay? So fuck yous. I will see all the regular listeners next week for a Eurovision special. Fuck Israel, free Palestine. See yous, lads.
Hello.